Today I'm at Barnardo House meeting and interviewing Javed Khan from Barnardos, the leading children's charity in the UK. So what does Barnardos do?
So Barnardos, I'm really pleased to say, is the UK's oldest and largest children's charity. In the last year, we supported 301,000 children, young people, their parents and their carers in a whole range of ways. So the children who are the most vulnerable in society. So for one reason or another, they suffered some really terrible events. So they've been traumatized and they may have disabilities, they may have learning issues, they may not have any parents. And they may just not have any love in their family that all children deserve. So Barnardo's job is, and purpose for being, is to put that love back into their lives, to make them feel supported, to help them cope and recover from the challenges that life has thrown them.
Is child poverty a real problem in the UK?
I think child poverty is a growing problem in the UK. So the numbers of children and families that are finding themselves in poverty is increasing really fast. At the moment, over 4 million children in this country are living in poverty. And a lot of those children have parents who are in work. So it's not like their parents are lazy or aren't able to work. They're in work and yet they're still below the poverty line. So it's a massive challenge that we face in the UK.
Do you think Islamophobia is affecting Muslim children?
I think young Muslim children do face a particular challenge, and we've all got to face up to that. And those that have a voice have a duty to speak up about it. We should speak about them with confidence. We should not fear the issues that will be raised. And then I think we can create a better place.
How can we really change the problems facing children in the UK?
We all have a responsibility to really worry about our children and the kind of environment that we are creating for them. We've got to believe that, for example, knife crime, you will have heard that knife crime is a big issue. But the starting point is that we've got to remind ourselves that children are not born carrying knives. Nobody wants to hurt somebody or be hurt when they're born. Something happens in their life, leads them down that path. We have to break into that psyche and stop blaming children, because children are born innocent. Stop criminalizing children for acts that they are not responsible for, that others are more responsible for. By stepping into their shoes, understanding what problems they face, then we might be able to do something about it.
I don't think Muslim children have a real voice in society, yet they are at the centre of so much media attention. What can I do to help?
That's a brilliant question. Firstly, I think children generally don't have much of a voice in society. It's not just Muslim kids. You are a role model for many other young people, and the voice that you've got, I think is going to be very, very powerful. It will let other young people think, well, hey, look, I could do that. I've got something to contribute as well.
Do you think young people have a part to play in changing the world, or is it an adult job?
I think adults think it's their job, but I think young people have got a big part to play. You may have heard of Greta Thunberg. Yeah, the climate campaigner. Look how young she is, right? She's only 16, and look how much of a difference that she has made already. She spoke to the British Parliament, she spoke at the United Nations. She's begun a global movement around climate change with lots and lots of young people. She didn't wait for permission, right, from anybody, any of the institutions, any of the governments. She thought, this is something I want to talk about, and other people have joined her. There's a young person teaching adults, actually, that there's something that you're missing. And another example is Malala Yousafzai. In her youth, the difference that she made, the way she exercised her voice and got the world to listen to her experience of growing up in a place that was quite challenged, to represent young people and young girls in particular, I think is a great wake-up call to adults to remember that we don't have all the solutions. And the quicker that we start listening to young people, believing in young people like you, I think the quicker we'll get to the solutions that we need to find.
Definitely. I think children can definitely change the world. Sometimes you always hear adult voices and you don't really get to hear children's perspectives. I think that's really important.
Absolutely.
A fun question now, one to finish. What was your favourite childhood game and why?
Oh gosh. I remember playing cricket from the moment I could pick up a bat with my brother and friends on our street. And I'm talking about the 1960s and 70s now, which must make me sound very, very old. I know, but in those days, on our street, you could go out and play, and we'd be playing till 10 o'clock at night because we knew that the whole street actually looked after all the kids. There was always somebody watching out for you. The sadness I have these days is kids can't do that anymore. My own children, I worry about them all the time, and if they're not home on the time that they should be on, we're telephoning them, sending out a search party.
I was actually saying that I've been playing cricket and PE right now. We're learning how to play.
Fantastic. In the days when I played, there was no England women's cricket team. It wasn't taught to girls in schools either. They did netball. We played cricket, so it's very, very different to what you're experiencing now.
It was nice interviewing you, Javed Khan.
Thank you very much for coming to Barnardos. Pleasure to meet you too.